Hey, first show of 2024. Good morning, Happy New Year to all of you. It was kind of cool yesterday. Benjamin, LG, and Ben's kid was asking me what I thought about the trade for the Knicks, which Rob talked about so eloquently on IG Live a couple days ago. And, you know, on a Company Jace, they talk about it for hours at a time. Hey, Kev, what's up there? That's all they were talking about. I'm like, there's a college football playoff game on, and these guys are talking about the trade for Anunoby, for Quickly, and for RJ Barrett. But, you know, it's one game right so far. And yes, the Knicks won their first game. And I saw that the Raptors won and Quickly started, and Quickly wanted more money. He wanted starter money. He was a backup. Well, now you're going to get the time to play every damn day. And RJ Barrett never was a fan of. I thought he was I also was a Dookie. Benjamin was right. He went to Duke. He was a Dookie. But there was something about him. He just never was that guy. I didn't think he was ever going to become that guy. Happy New Year to you too, Kev. And Rob was going on and on about how, the ownership is going the right direction. I'm like, and that they're going to get guys for next season, off season, free agency. The draft sucks. They have draft picks that aren't going to be worth shit. They're late draft picks. They don't have any really lottery picks that I'm feeling are going to lead to, and especially this upcoming draft. There's always going to be some outliers. There's always going to be some gems, but there's no there's no Wemby. There's no Zion. There's no, Cade Cunningham, to be determined. At least they ended their 28-game losing streak on Saturday against the Raptors, which they hadn't won since October 20th, and then they lost again yesterday. But it was the two Thompson brothers playing against each other yesterday, Asur and Amen. So that was kind of cool that they played against each other. Brothers, that's kind of cool playing an NBA game. I think they had bobbleheads and everything, but the Rockets blew at the Pistons, so the Pistons lost again. But I digress. I don't know. I think it's going to take time. You got to let these guys play some games. We got to see what happens, and then from there, we'll see. We'll see what happens moving forward. But way too soon. One game. And, the Knicks need so much goddamn help. And after this, talking to Aaron and Josh and everybody yesterday, and Rob, Rob has his points, but who are you trading now? Who are you getting rid of? I don't know. I really don't know. And you getting rid of Randall? Is Randall going to show up in the playoffs? Yeah, Randall had 39 yesterday, and they beat Minnesota and DiVincenzo, but, Brunson didn't shoot well, and Tibbs always places guys way too many minutes. And we saw what happened to Derrick Rose when they could have won a championship that year. He runs him on the ground, blowout, whatever. Hey, look what happened to Mike McDaniel. Bradley Chubb, they're down 49-19 on Sunday. Bradley Chubb's in there, blows out his knee. He's done for the year. You think you needed to keep him in when you have a game next week which you could win the division? And now if you lose, you're going to be drop in the playoffs. You clinched a playoff spot, but really? 49-19 in a game you can't win? Over? And then the playoffs yesterday. Michigan, watching a game with her. Thank God they won, because I don't want to have to deal with that. That would have been really scary. But she even said to me, she goes, they're losing this game. I think they were down 17-13. She goes, they're losing this game. And I said, wow, man, but she's watched games. She's seen them all along. And Harbaugh's only had 3 fourth quarter wins when they're down by 7-3. And that was only the second. J.J. McCarthy, who I thought played like shit. First play of the game, he throws interception. Thank God the guy had stepped out and then came back in. They had a fumble on a kickoff. They had a botch snap on a extra point. They had a bad snap on a 49-yard field goal, and they still won the goddamn game. They had 5 sacks at Milroe in the first half. Milroe, that's the thing. Bama, 43 sacks this year. They were 123rd in that, and we're talking in bad standings of the FBS teams, 123rd in sacks they've given up this year. They gave up 5 in the first half. They kind of settled things down. It was 13-10 at the half. Michigan should have been blowing them out. They weren't. They had, 7 tackles for losses, 5 sacks, outgained them 197-96, and they roll up 13-10. You're like, they're not winning this goddamn game. Third quarter, 1 first down, 23 yards of offense. And Blake Corum played. I agree. He got strong as the game went on. J.J. McCarthy, to me, still hasn't shown me that he can be the guy. Milton wants to come on and talk about it. I'm still concerned because Michael Penix And Washington, I don't know what the fuck they were doing yesterday, but they're blowing them out. They're up 34-21, and they're doing like a triple, a flea flicker, a reverse, backwards passing when they should just be driving down the field. You got a quarterback who was Penix 430. He was those for 430. That was the third highest ever. I forgot, but Tebow threw for like 482. Yes, Josh, too cute. 482 against Cincinnati. I remember that game when Cincinnati went to Sugar Bowl, blew them out. And they had the game. And then there was an injury with their running back, which is still to be determined. What's his name? Dylan Johnson went down. So the clock stopped. And they wouldn't even have time left. Well, they go down. They get a touchdown. They get a field goal. They get the ball back. You're right. Didn't they get a field goal? And then Washington couldn't do anything. Couldn't run out the clock. Yeah, and the injury happened. They get the ball back with no timeout, and they just start driving. And they had shots in the end zone. Quinn Ewers. But that whole drive, it was like receivers off. Adonai Mitchell was screaming, I want the ball. Then he got a touchdown. But, I was talking to Hal, and what did Hal say to me? Hal said, I said, I'd love him on a show. I don't think he's going to come on, but I'd love to have him on a show. And he did not. He was like, to be that close. I guess it's even worse. To be that close, Company Jace, how's it going there? And to be that close and lose is even worse. So he didn't even talk to me during the game. I said something. There was a measurement, and I said, Stevie Wonder, what's up there, Rob? Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles knew that was a first down. Knew they got the stop there. And then, even the second half, they're driving Texas, and they said, caused by a fumble caused by the ground. And you're like, dude, you watch the replay. The ball was coming out before it even hit the ground. I mean, everything Texas could do to lose the game, they did. And they still had a shot at the end. Now, if this was the BCS, this would be the game we'd have Michigan against Washington. Milton is going to the game. Hal had tickets. If Texas won, they didn't. He's about 40, 50 miles away from the stadium, and Texas is over. You know what? I felt Quinn Ewers should come back. I think when he looks good, he looks really good, but when he looks bad, he looks really bad. Michael Penix Jr., I mean, I don't know how, I know that Daniels won the Heisman, but Penix Jr. came and played his ass off. And that's the thing. We're going to see, it's going to be an interesting championship game. Thank God there is one, because it would have ruined. And that game didn't end until like 12:30. But the best part of the game, which right away, Michigan wasn't even paying attention. I go, holy shit. So they're showing the crowd, they had a shot of the French Quarter. And I've been to the French Quarter, and these women are looking up, and someone's talking to them, and they'll throw you beads if you flash. Well, this woman, she pulled down her top, and nobody talked about it. It took at least 10, 15 minutes to get even on Twitter. It wasn't even a big thing, but unless maybe people were just sleeping or whatever. But I was like, I'm like, Michigan, her top, and she didn't. So of course I got Lanker. Lanker got a screenshot of it. He went back, sent me a screenshot, and then I found out all the guys from Company of Jace are butt guys, not boob guys. Dude, I have a butt. We all have butt. That's what Simon said. I have. What are you, a legs or an ass man? He goes, I have legs. I guess he didn't say, but I have legs. No, man. Chest always works. But, I thought that and Rob was saying, my kids are going to be scarred for life. They were a joke or whatever. But I thought that was kind of Happy New Year. Happy New Year, guys. Yeah, see, Kev's with me. Chess man. But I thought that was great. They didn't talk about it all after that. But the camera guy, what do you think ESPN, in the truck was like, okay, yeah, we got a great shot of French Quarter. Oh my God! It happens, folks. It happens. Live television. That's why it's so great. And I thought they have a 5-second pause. They didn't get, you saw it happening. I knew what was going on. I've been to the French Quarter, and I was like, oh, this isn't going to end well. Well, it ended well for us, but not well for the camera. But yeah, 2 great games. Couldn't have asked for more. And college football playoff, Michigan, and then the end of the game. What, Michigan took a timeout, then Bama took a timeout, and Saban said he had 3 plays. So the best play they had, and they were having problems with the snap all game with the center of, what was it, McLaughlin was the center for Bama. He was having problems all goddamn game with the snap, and it was a low snap. And Milroe, who I thought, he only threw for $121, but when they ran the ball, they were successful with him running the ball. They